Today I want to show you some of the mods I've done to my Perception Sound 9.5, talk about it. Has some pros and cons. The pros definitely outweigh the cons, and it really boils down to four things. Number one, portability, 38 pounds, 9.5 feet. It tracks like a 12-foot kayak. Really, really impressive. Number three, useful in many different fishing situations. I just wouldn't take it out in the ocean or super big lakes. It's just sort of my thing. I only take sit-on tops out in the ocean and in big water. But rivers, small lakes, ponds, medium-sized ponds is great. And number four is the stability. And even though it's only 28 inches wide and 9.5 feet long, the multi-channel hull really makes a difference. Three things I don't like about it. Number one is the seat is super uncomfortable. Number two is the rod holders, and you see this with a lot of the lower end Perceptions, are pretty much useless, so you have to mod them out. And number three is it's slow. That's the trade-off with the tracking and the stability because of the bottom, the keel. It's just a slower boat. You're not going to win any races, but in small to mid-sized water, that's not a big deal. Going against strong currents, you're going to get tired though. She is. Full disclaimer, as I do this walk around, you're going to see a West Marine sticker and it's going to say Bahama 9.5 on the other side. If you guys don't believe me, you can look it up yourself, but this is a Perception Sound 9.5 that has been made for West Marine. I'm pretty sure they still make them. They just white label it and put their own stickers on the side. Other than that, it is the same specs, colors available, etc., stuff like that. Well, technically, I think West Marine has less colors available than Perception if you get it directly from them. I'm not used to the horizontal layout, so originally when I got it, I had put a plastic clip where you could snap it into place. What I'd found is that since you're sitting back here and you need to apply pressure from within the kayak to snap it down, that the boat would rock a teeny bit. More so, it was making noise, which would distract fish. So I just decided, you know what, let's just use it the way it is, and you basically rest the paddle in there and just clip it in there, and it works pretty good, except it makes for a wider profile. It's got nice storage bins up here. You can put a lot of lures, tackle box, lock in place. Got little trays here, a cup holder, which I never use because I don't know, I guess I sit forward or I have bad posture or something like that. Scupper drains right there, and it's a nice bungee system. You can put a crate or you can throw your gear back here, and it's got a drain plug. Since it is a sit inside, you definitely will accumulate some water, so the drain plug makes it easy. Just stand it up and drain it out. One of the cons I was talking about with the seat, and man, it looks really cool, and it looks super cool online, it looks super cool in the store, and it's even got, you know, nice give on the padding, both in the back and in the seat, and it's got this adjustable up down so you can set it up for your maximum comfort. But I don't know what the heck it is. This is the most uncomfortable kayak I've ever sat in. And I've sat in a bunch of kayaks. Now what I did is I just got a cheap stadium seat. I think it was 10-15 bucks. I don't strap it down. I literally just rest it in there and sit on top. I've been out 6-7 hours in this boat with no problem at all. World difference for 15 bucks. Let me see if I can show you inside the hull, because there's these really nice adjustable foot braces. Very comfortable. It actually has a little space in the back as well, underneath the deck, where you can store some more gear. I bet you could probably store enough gear to go a couple nights camping if you wanted to with this one. Added the pad eyes and the bungee system up front, and basically what I use it for is to carry a small net, like a trout net or something like that, or so. These rod holders that I really they're just so useless on these lower end Perceptions. Okay, this is a 5.5 foot rod, and what is that, like maybe 4 or 5 inches worth of depth. I've on my sit on top, my 11.5, I've actually had a rod pulled out the back by a a small striper. So what I do is some PVC extensions for the holder. It's basically 2 diameters of PVC cut so that you can really just friction fit in there, and that is basically what you need to do. I'm sure you can buy some stuff out of this, out of a store. They probably sell extenders, or you just go the cheap way like I did. You can get scupper plugs. You can use those practice squishy orange golf balls for even cheaper. These are essentially the same thing that you get from like a rivet or a screw mounted ram base, but it's got the threads down the bottom, so you can thoroughly go like that, lock it in place, put your accessory of choice on top, and they've got all different things from cup holders, fish finder mounts, to rod holders, and you can change the direction, etc., stuff like that. Only thing I'll say is that I guess because it's got the threads down the bottom, they wind up being like $25 or $30 in the store or on Amazon, which is about twice as much as if you were just to get the regular rivet-in kind. I added the anchor trolley, and this wasn't a kit. It was basically a DIY thing with the pad eyes, carabiners, some cheap stainless steel pulleys, paracord, run it through. I had some type of metal. I don't actually know what this is. This is where you clip the anchor and repeat on the back. If you buy a kit, probably like $25, $30, you also get an anchor cleat, which is great. You do it the way I did, and I think it cost me about $12. Makes it track like a 12-foot because it's channeling all this water straight through. The second thing it does is it provides a surprising amount of stability. I've actually been able to stand up in this in completely calm water. I don't recommend doing it, but I did it just for the fun of it. And the downside of it is because it is channeling the water through, it's a pretty slow boat. I think the max I've ever had it up to is about 3.5 miles an hour. The other thing that I had at some points in time was, you see I've drilled 2 holes there and 2 holes there. What this was for was a Scotty transducer arm base, and this was where I put my Scotty base, or actually it was a Garmin Striker 4 base to hold my fish finder in there. So just a word on value. I think for the 9.5, I think the list retail price is anywhere from $400 to $430, maybe $440. Most of the time you're going to find them on sale if you just wait a little bit, maybe around $370 or $380. And for that price point, I'd give it a 3.5. And I'm a pretty tough grader. I think it's a great intro boat, and that's a fair price for it, even with the mods that you got to put on it. Now, I happened to luck out and got this from West Marine last December when it was a end of season sale. I paid about $225, I think, before tax. And if you can find one of these, even used for that price, the value for the money and the features, etc., stuff like that, it really skyrockets. I give it 4.25 stars. I don't think I'd ever give anything 5 stars. But if you wait it out and you buy it at the right time, maybe you look at a color that you really originally wouldn't have picked, you can save yourself a lot of money. You get a great kayak for that money.